1 billion people own a smartphone worldwide. The first smartphone was introduced in 1996, but we lack the fast digital networks to make them viable. About 6 years ago, Apple launched the first iPhone and revolutionized the industry. Needing to be connected through a smartphone has become the norm. I own a smartphone and I love it. I want to share some information about my smartphone and how it makes my life easier. I own an HTC Hero. Although I have only owned it for about 2 years, it was released in July of 2009. My phone's manual states that the phone is about 4 inches long, 2 inches across, and a half an inch thick. The size of the phone is perfect in my opinion. The average screen size accommodates and displays 65,000 different colors. The internal memory can store 228 megabits of data, and if that's not enough, the phone can hold a wide variety of removable memory chips called SD cards. The Hero works with an average processing speed of 528 megahertz. This is substantially slower than the average laptop, but the speed is still impressive. Built into the phone are sensors to measure speed and direction. They're called an accelerometer and a compass. One of my favorite features is the 5-megapixel autofocus camera that is also equipped with a flash and a front-facing lens. On top of all the impressive hardware that's built into the HTC Hero, I can personalize it with various software options, better known as apps. I have a variety of apps that personalize my smartphone and help me throughout my day. I want to start with the apps that I use frequently at work and school. Like some of you may know, I have a degree in electrical engineering technology. I currently work as an electronics technician, so during my workday I'm usually investigating and repairing broken circuit boards. I have found several apps on the Android market that help me identify values of components. This is helpful and important to me because when I'm looking at one of these components, there aren't any numbers. What you find are 3 to 5 colored bands on the component in various combinations. The specific color and place depict the value of the component. I simply pull the app up on my phone and scroll to the correct colors, and I immediately know the value of the part I am inspecting. I also frequently use an app that's similar to a scientific calculator. I don't usually carry a calculator with me, so when the event arises that I'm away from my workstation trying to solve a problem, I once again reach for my smartphone. On top of having specific apps that I have downloaded, the preloaded Google search bar gets plenty of use. I often look for data sheets of microcontrollers and other multi-use components, so I need to view the manufacturer's data sheet to set the component the correct way for the specific application. That was just a few examples of how my HTC Hero is important to me while I'm at work. Next, I'd like to share how my smartphone is important to me being a mother. At any time, my darling daughter Sydney might be doing something that I absolutely need a picture of. The camera function is just a few seconds away, and it generally takes great pictures. I find myself taking more photos with my smartphone than my digital camera. Like I mentioned earlier, the camera has a front-facing lens, so this is important while I'm trying to take a photo of Sydney and I together. I can see exactly what I'm aiming my camera at, instead of finding out after that the picture I was aiming over our heads are too far to one side. The camera function on my phone is probably my favorite because I can put it to use for fun and capture memories of my favorite little girl. I would like to share a bit more information about my phone's internet capabilities. I have a regular browser that allows me to feel like I'm sitting at a computer. Along with having a real speed internet browser, it allows me to use apps like YouTube to play music and play videos. This comes in handy when I'm out somewhere like a restaurant, doctor's office waiting room, or just on a long drive with a restless toddler. With a quick search for Mickey Mouse Clubhouse episodes, I generally have a quiet little girl. Another way my smartphone is important to me is the calendar function. I generally have a busy schedule with working 2 jobs and having to attend classes. I enter all my work shifts and class times on the calendar. This allows me to be able to make other appointments and plans accurately. I don't usually find myself with too many schedule conflicts because I'm able to see the week while I'm accepting new commitments. The last thing I would like to share about my smartphone is the important to me of mobile connectivity. It allows me to read and reply to emails on breaks at work or while I'm between events. I cannot imagine having to make specific time to sit down and log into a computer. I love to be notified when my email comes. The phone allows the same flexibility with phone calls. I believe it saves me time because I'm able to answer phone calls as they come in instead of having to answer a machine full of messages at home. With all that said, I consider my smartphone very important to my everyday life. As I come to an end, I would like to just reinforce how much power is inside one of these mobile devices. It is an interesting fact to consider that the phone I rely on every day has more power and processing speed than the devices that guided and landed Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins on the moon in 1969. Thank you.